If animals had eyes at the front. Pigeons. Dogs. Goats. Goldfishes. Ducks. Chickens. Dolphins. Sharks.
Crocodiles don't die of old age. They either die of starvations or diseases. In the wild, these bitches can live up to 70 years, and some have been recorded to live over 100. The biggest croc ever recorded was over 20 feet long, and this some bitch weighed over 2,000 pounds. His name was Gustav. Yeah, this motherfucker had a name. This motherfucking dude was a menace. He flatlined over 300 people. Till this day, Gustav is still alive. But the problem is, they don't know where the fuck dude at. It was last seen in the Burundi, located in East Africa. Flatlining humans was a sport. A lot of people he killed, he didn't eat. Other crocodiles were bitch made compared to this dude. Look at this shit. This motherfucker about to take everybody's cornbread. They even tried shooting this motherfucker in his head, but that shit ain't work. His skin is too fucking thick. Gustav is the only crocodile that will fuck up a hippopotamus. Now imagine touring this jungle and this long back motherfucker ambush you and start nibbling on your fucking spinal cord. It's over with for your ass. This bitch is 100% real. They even made a movie about, bro. Go watch it. This shit good as hell.
Dakota and Felicity were arrested this morning, June 14th. And I have the arrest details, so let's take a look at it. Now, what led up to the arrest is kind of blurry, not quite sure exactly, but what I can tell you is their exact charges and what is being said in the comment section from people that are close to this situation. So it says they're arrested at 10:10 this morning, and their bond is set at $500 cash each. Again, here's Felicity's bond set at $500, arrested at 10:10. Now it says Felicity's two charges are destruction of property and conspiracy. Dakota's two charges are the exact same thing, destruction of property and conspiracy. Specifically, conspiracy to inflict injury to persons or property. Now, here is where I do not know if this is true or false, but it would make sense with the charges. Now, allegedly, according to Nisha, China Doll kicked them out of the house this morning, and they were arrested allegedly at China Doll's house this morning as well. Now, whether the destruction of property happened at China's house or it could be back from here when Nisha kicked them out of her house and they destroyed her 2 TVs and some of her property. Because when Crazy K posted all of this, he leaked China Doll's address, which could have led police directly to them. As soon as I have more details on why they're arrested, I'll be sure to let you know. But as of right now, they're still sitting in jail.
If you ever see this woman and she asks you if she's pretty, you better watch what you say. Uchisakaona, or the slit-mouthed woman, will appear in front of you with a mouth cover and she will ask you if you think she's pretty. If you tell her no, she will kill you immediately. Now if you tell her yes, it might be even worse. She will remove her cover and show her disfigured face, and then she will scream, "How about now?" If you still say yes, she will cut your mouth from corner to corner till you look like her and die. There's no right answer, but you can outsmart her. When she asks if she's pretty, don't say yes or no, say maybe. It will make her think and give you a second to run. Now with COVID going on and everybody wearing mouth covers, it's very easy for her to blend in and go unnoticed. Slit-mouthed woman is Japanese lore. If you want more lore, monsters, and scary stories, please follow and like this channel. Thank you guys.
took this photo the summer of 2011. This is on my grandparents' property, very rural Western Oregon. The only other people there at the time were my friend, the mom of two of these girls. The girl on the top left wasn't physically there with us. My grandparents bought the property in the early 70s, no history on it. Their first house burned to the ground just a few years after they built it.
You don't just mean that dark-haired girl in the back.
Yes, she wasn't there.
You're kidding. You're kidding. That's insane.
That's wrong on
so many levels.
Can I? Oh, nope. So when we get closer to it, it is definitely what any good horror movie filmmaker would want to achieve.
She would go into battle with Samara and possibly win.
That's eerie as all get out. The smile is so menacing.
Scary.
Because it definitely seems like an insincere smile. It seems like a threatening smile. Yeah, no.
And she's wrapping her arm too.
Oh yeah, you can see her hand above, like she's holding onto the tree with
Wow.
claw-like fingers.
Just the history of the property is giving me like no-go vibes in the way of the house burned down in a freak accident a couple years after it was built, and it was the first thing built on the land. It's like almost like something is seeing these little girls, and
Right,
it's like
and
I
emulating
need
them.
Yeah, and it's like I need to look like a little girl, which is horrifying. That's the last type of entity that you want to be around, is one that's able to take form this well, with such detail, like down to the shirt. It's like a floral kind of pattern on her shirt, and that's
it's hella creepy.
That's too
This
specific.
is super creepy.
This is what Celeste Rivas Hernandez looked like when David first met her. She was just 11 years old, as if 14 wasn't bad enough. I don't understand at all how anybody could look at this face and not see a child, a baby. An 11-year-old is in like 5th grade, you guys. I'm a mother, and this case just crushes my heart, but you don't even need to be a parent to realize that this is sickening. This is wrong. That is a child. It infuriated me that for so long the media was trying to push the narrative that she was a woman making her own choices. Even still, it's portrayed like she was in a legitimate relationship with David. A 14-year-old cannot be in a relationship with a 20-year-old. She didn't have the ability to consent. Not to mention she was groomed. This is what these predators do. They find a young child, they groom them, and David had the money, he had the power, he had the influence to manipulate her. That's not her fault. That doesn't mean that she was a willing participant in a relationship. She's a victim. I won't get into my opinions on the parents right now, but they released a statement that says, "We would like to thank the Los Angeles Police Department and the District Attorney's Office for their hard work. We would also like to thank the people of Lake Elsinore for all of their support. Celeste was a beautiful, strong girl who loved to sing and dance. Every Friday night was movie night, and we spent wonderful times together. We love her very much, and she always told us that she loved us. We miss her deeply, and all we want is justice for Celeste." And unfortunately, cases just like this aren't uncommon, and oftentimes you find that they use wording like woman, female, instead of saying what they should, child, girl, trying to minimize it. Yet when it's the other way around and you look at the wording and the aggressor is a young man, like 18, 19, 20, they will use wording like teen, young boy, young male. What happened to Celeste is heartbreaking. So many people failed her. She was just a baby who had her entire life taken away from her.
This is the Monroe Demon House, the scariest place in America. This house has an interesting and very bizarre history. A history that includes serial killers and satanic cults. And when we visited, it was during a thunderstorm, so the energy was supercharged. Now, lots of previous owners of the house have gotten into bizarre accidents. Accidents that have taken the lives of some of their loved ones, and they've been plagued with bad luck while they lived in the house. At some point, the home actually became a boarding house. And some of the tenants in the upstairs, which I'm filming right now, were performing rituals in their room. People don't exactly know what rituals were going on, but they have been confirmed by former tenants. and people think that these rituals opened up some sort of a portal that allowed a demonic being to come through. There were also bones found in the basement that were confirmed to be human bones, and people have seen something that looks almost like a deer or an animal prowling the halls. Now let me tell you, this is one of the most intense places I've ever investigated. We had a crucifix that we set up on the wall fly off of the wall twice, all on camera. And the energy inside of this place was some of the darkest I've ever come across. And the spirits in the home told us of bones that might be buried in the backyard. And I later confirmed with the owner that ground penetrating radar had been used and that there are bodies in the back. If you want to see this full video, it's on my YouTube now. The link is in my bio.
The most terrifying videos on TikTok. If you were easily scared, then this is your opportunity to scroll past. Still with me? This kid keeps telling her mother that there's a guy at the door.
Guy.
Do you want to open the door or you want mommy to open it?
I want mommy to open it.
Okay.
You may think she means that there is a guy behind the door that she is pointing at. However, behind the door is a child's playroom equipped with a playhouse, which is also equipped with its own Ring doorbell. People have far too much money.
He's in there.
On January 3rd, 2025, that doorbell camera started to record, which by the way only happens if the doorbell has either been pressed or motion has been detected. But when her mother reviewed the footage, this is what she saw. Okay, so who's hiding in the comments and who saw the doll's hair move?
There's an active serial killer in Austin, Texas. I have spent the last few weeks researching all of this. I've spoken with the families of victims, and the conclusions that we've drawn here are absolutely disturbing. But let's take a look. So in the last decade or so, there have been over 20 men's bodies that were found in Lady Bird Lake in Austin, Texas. Here's a map of just the bodies that were found in 2022 to 2023. So if you've never been to Austin and you don't know what Lady Bird Lake is, it's not really a lake, it's more like a river. It flows right through the center of the city. And when people come to Austin, they paddleboard on Lady Bird Lake. I actually used to live in these apartments right here, so my wife and I walked there all the time. But in the last couple of years, so many men's bodies have been found in that body of water that people are saying there's a serial killer. I've got documents, autopsy reports. We're gonna back all this stuff up with evidence. So swimming has actually been banned in Lady Bird Lake since the 1960s. And that swimming ban came after tragically 2 sisters drowned in the lake along with a couple of other people that same year. And so the Austin City Council unanimously voted to stop people from swimming there. Now, I know that people drown and accidentally die all the time, but it's the very suspicious circumstances surrounding these men's deaths that has led me to draw a different conclusion. If you want me to go line item through every person that's died there, let me know and I'll make this a series. I have done a lot of research on this subject. So the first death that was really suspicious in Lady Bird Lake was in 2008, And it was this man who died, Riyad Hamad. Now, Riyad was a very well-educated man. He was a teacher in the Austin area. He had loads of friends and family, and he frequently gave money to and volunteered with Palestinian relief charities. But a few months before his death, the FBI raided Riyad's home. It was reported that they took out 40 boxes of materials from his house, and it's never been revealed exactly what they removed from his home or exactly why they were looking there in the first place. Because only a few months later, Riyad's body was found in Lady Bird Lake. Now, this is really bizarre stuff. So the authorities said that Riyad had taken his own life. But when they pulled Riyad's body out of Lady Bird Lake, there were some bizarre things on it. His hands and feet were duct taped together. There was duct tape covering his mouth, duct tape really all over his face. And immediately people thought there is no way that he could have done this to himself. But before any sort of real investigation was done into this is a real APD news bulletin from April 16th, 2008. The Austin Police Department and authorities in the city declared that this was a case of somebody taking their own life. That's all that it was, according to Austin police. But as you can see from local newspaper reports at the time, people were immediately questioning exactly what happened to Riyad. But there would never be any real answers in this case. But this was only the start. Like I said, there have been over 20 men's bodies found here, and some of the circumstances are even more bizarre than what we just talked about. And I'm going to make some more videos exposing this stuff so people can be aware of what's happening in Austin. But if you want right now, you can head to my YouTube channel, The Paranormal Files Official Channel. And I just released a 3-hour-long documentary going over every single fact in this case. Like I said, I talked to family members of victims who believe that their loved ones were killed. And this is some really eye-opening stuff. So the link is going to be in my bio. And I'm going to continue this series over the next couple of days to hopefully raise some awareness of what's happening in a city that I have so much love for.
Which of these facts is the hardest to believe? You can feel when someone is staring at you. This phenomena is called gaze detection. There is a small hole in your eyelids called the lacrimal punctum, which drains your tears to your nose. This is the reason why you get a running nose after crying. The temperature of the room you sleep in can determine if you will have a bad dream or not. Up to 70% of people have experienced the hypnic jerk, which is a falling sensation that wakes you up suddenly when you are about to fall asleep. Let me know if you've experienced the hypnic jerk before. If you comment the word "nah" or like this, you will unlock a secret TikTok emoji. If you don't unlock it, then your phone might be fake. Before the invention of light bulbs, people slept an average of 10 to 11 hours a day. If you need to flip a coin to make a decision but you don't have a coin, type "flip a coin" on Google and Google will give you a coin. Go do it, come back and let me know if it worked. If you lick someone's elbow while they are not paying attention, they will not feel it. 4 more.
A girl was sitting on a subway late at night when she noticed the woman sitting across from her was staring at her intently. The woman was sitting between 2 old men. The girl kept looking away, but the woman wouldn't break eye contact with her. The stare was beginning to freak the girl out. At the next stop, a new passenger got on, and it was a tall man wearing a trench coat. He then sat down next to the girl, and the woman paid no attention to the man in the trench coat. And she just kept looking at the girl, who was getting more and more creeped out as time went on. The 2 men didn't even glance in her direction. She pretended not to notice, but every time she glanced at the strange woman, the stare continued. When the train was pulling into the next stop, the man in the trench coat got up to leave, but suddenly he grabbed the girl's arm tightly, and as the doors opened, he dragged her off the train. The doors shut and the subway pulled off, leaving the girl alone with the man in the trench coat. She started screaming out loud, begging for help, but the man in the trench coat then said, "Calm down, I just saved your life. I didn't mean to scare you, but I had to get you off that train." The woman sitting opposite of you was dead, and the 2 men beside her were holding up her body.
This is the terrifying story behind Wrong Turn. In the 1950s, near the quiet town of Blackwood, Ohio, there lived a family called the Crane family. They stayed in a rotting house at the edge of Blackbriar Forest. The townspeople hated them, calling them filthy, cursed, and unfit to live among others. One night, driven by fear and rumor, A mob surrounded the house and set it on fire, believing the family would die with it, but the Cranes survived. They disappeared into the forest, burned, broken, and consumed by hatred. From then on, they swore revenge on anyone who came near. Years later, people started vanishing around Blackbriar Forest. Hikers, travelers, hunters, even locals. The few who escaped claimed the family hunted like animals, laying traps throughout the woods, spiked pits, hidden bear traps, and wire snares hanging between trees. Victims were dragged deep into the forest and never seen again. The only thing usually left behind was a blood-stained black feather. Then, in the 1980s, a girl named Laura escaped after her friends disappeared on a camping trip. She told police the family chased her through the trees, whispering, "You burned us, now we burn you." And to this day, people still avoid those woods.
This woman is the reason why you should never go to Texas. This is the true story of La Lechuza. La Lechuza is a creature that roams the nights of Texas and the border areas of Mexico. Back in 1930, La Lechuza was a beautiful woman named Maria who lived in a small town in Mexico. This woman led a normal life, but fate took a cruel turn. A jealous neighbor, envious of Maria's beauty and happiness, whispered dark spells and cursed Maria, turning her into a monstrous hybrid, a 6-foot-tall creature with the body of an owl and the face of an old woman. Now La Lechuza seeks revenge, regardless of whether it takes children, men, or women. La Lechuza imitates the sound of a crying baby to lure its victims at night when they approach it is too late for them. La Lechuza takes them to its cave, where they remain trapped, and its soul feeds its insatiable hunger. Some believe she is a witch. Others believe she serves the devil. The reality is that she is just a victim seeking revenge. Now you know if you see La Lechuza, you only have one option. Pray and ask for mercy.
In the middle of fucking nowhere.
So that video got over 4 million views, and everyone is wondering what the hell is that thing? So I did some research and found out that this only gets weirder. A team of biologists were in a helicopter flying over the Utah wilderness counting bighorn sheep. As they were doing this, one of the biologists spotted a bizarre, mysterious object and was like, whoa, turn around, there's this big thing back there, we have to go look at it. They landed the helicopter next to it, and as they approached it, they saw that in the middle of the barren desert stood a 10 to 12 foot tall metal monolith of unknown origin. The biologist said that it did not seem like it was just dropped there, but it seemed like it was firmly planted into the ground. And we still don't know what this thing is or where it came from.
These 3 kids are pure evil. In 1966 in Atlanta, Georgia, there were 3 evil boys. Their names were Caleb, Alex, and Walter Mellon. The townspeople nicknamed them the Little Satans, because from the age of 5, the Little Satans began to show a very disturbing and cruel side, often capturing small animals in the town's woods. The other kids in town were terrified and stayed away from the Little Satans. The parents of these 3 kids just thought it was envy of the other parents or just a childhood thing. Most of the town kept quiet because they didn't want any trouble with this influential and wealthy family. But the evilness of the Little Satans was increasing, until one day a kid from the town disappeared, and the last time he was seen he was with the Little Satans. Due to the few evidences, the local police could not make a deep investigation. But an officer named Mark Russell did not give up, and decided to investigate further, where he discovered a secret door in the back garden of the house of the Little Satans. When he opened it, he found a macabre scene. The missing boy was tied up and caged with all his clothes torn and wounds all over his body.
If your kid starts talking to an imaginary friend, be very careful. Here's why. A woman named Leah Lourdes moved into a new house with her daughter. She explains that over the course of a few days, her daughter befriended an imaginary friend. After this, she noticed her daughter would spend a lot of time inside her room and even noticed another voice coming from inside. Hoping it's just her mind playing tricks on her, she places a camera in her daughter's room to make sure everything's okay. But what she captured made her realize moving into that house was a mistake. You can see her daughter talking to someone. closet door opens by itself, as if something's hiding inside. Then, you can hear what sounds like a deep growl. Frightened, she slowly makes her way out. After discovering the footage, Leo expresses she's terrified and trying to find answers.
Scary videos that can't be explained. No one can make it to the last one. This man caught a scary figure in his mirror. Would you rather spend one night in this bathroom or kiss the third person who shows up when you click share and then more? This couple tried to prank their neighbors but ended up attracting something darker.
What are you doing?
Trying to creep up the neighbors. What if there was just like a face right there?
Only 1% of people can do this. No one can completely spell their name one word at a time down in the comments without being interrupted. First person to do so wins. These people claim they found a witch on a mountain.
This house was so violently haunted, a priest had to perform a full-blown exorcism, and it still didn't work. The Hinsdale House in New York is one of the most terrifying haunted homes in America. In the 1970s, the Dandy family moved in and were immediately tormented by unexplained footsteps, chanting in the woods, shadow figures, and levitating objects. Things got so bad the family called in a priest. He performed an exorcism right inside the house, but the spirits never left. In fact, investigators say the haunting only intensified. People still report being scratched, seeing apparitions, and even losing time. Some say the land itself is cursed, others believe something demonic is still inside. Would you spend the night here? Because I did, and what we caught on camera will make your skin crawl.